First of all, I want to say thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate you. So today I want to talk about the recent Snow White movie and why it has been receiving a lot of criticism. And also I want to discuss some valuable lessons we can learn from it. So first of all, for those who are not familiar with what Snow White is, I will just give you a little recap. Snow White is a very famous cartoon character. It's about a lady who has a very white skin. That is where the name comes from, Snow White. And she is regarded as very beautiful. And there was this evil witch who wanted to kill her out of jealousy. And then there was this handsome Prince Charming who got to rescue her. So when Disney recently decided to make a movie out of the original Snow White cartoon, they decided to change certain parts of the original Snow White, which were not just regular changes, but these changes were centered around values, philosophy, and ideas that Disney, the people at Disney, deem problematic. That means they saw these ideas as problematic and they decided to reinterpret those ideas through the movie that they just recently made. And that is what led to a lot of backlash and hatred for the movie. So what are these ideas? What are these values that Disney has an issue with that they decided to change in the new Snow White movie? The first one is that the original movie does not align with modern feminism. In the original Snow White movie, she was totally reliant on a man to save her. And for some reason, a lot of people find offense in this just simply because the gender saving Snow White is a man. I know this might be new for some of you, but this is one of the foundational idea of modern feminism. So even though feminism might have different interpretations across so many people, but one thing that is consistent about this modern feminism, they teach about this utopia, this ultimate status a woman can attain, where she becomes, in quote, the independent woman. And one of their foundational teaching is they believe the more, it's actually quite crazy if you think about it, but it's the more independent a woman can be without any help from the male gender, the more she attain that special level. Don't just take my word for it. The writers of Snow White and even the lead actress, that is the actress that plays Snow White herself, actually testified to this.
Said you were bringing a modern edge to it on stage. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that
she's not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
They actually said that this new Snow White is better than the other one because she doesn't rely on a man to save her anymore. So the second political idea that the writers of Snow White want to spread from the Snow White movie is diversity and inclusion. There seems to take offense that Snow White was played by a white character and was admired because of her white skin. So they believe in the name of diversity, they will change the actress. They use a dark actress, a dark-skinned actress, to play Snow White. I want to ask the question, so who is actually right? So are Disney wrong to do this? Do they actually have a good idea but going about it the wrong way, or are they completely wrong, or are the opposing people criticizing them right? Anyway, let me be honest with you. We cannot know what is right and wrong in this situation except we check God's thoughts or God's mind on it. So why did I say that? When it comes to issue like genders, issue like culture, issues like how we should behave, if we all are arguing among ourselves, it's just a matter of opinion. We are just arguing based on what we believe is better, or probably what we believe we prefer, but we cannot really know what is absolutely right except we know the mind of God, which is not hidden. The mind of God is in the Bible. God created humans, and God, not only did he created humans, he has a way he cultured us. He has a way he wants us to live. So the question, what is the mind of God on this subject? So the first one, which I might not get to go into the second one because of time. But the first one is modern feminism. So what does God thinks about, I'm not talking about feminism in maybe in totality, because I'm just aligning one center core teaching of feminism. The idea that a woman's value is how independent of a man she can be. So what is God saying on modern feminism, on the issue of value of a woman? According to the Bible, the value of a woman or any female at all is not based on how independent she can be on her own. The value of a woman, it's placed by God on something even much better, which I want to read to you now from the Bible. Genesis chapter 1, verse 27. It says, "So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them." The value of a woman, according to the Bible, according to God himself who created a woman, is based on her nature. And what is her nature? Her nature, sorry. She is created in the image of God. There can be nothing more valuable than that. So a woman's value is not dependent on how independent. Modern feminists try to fill people head with this. Oh, if you can be independent. No, I'm not sorry. I'm not saying it's bad to pursue goal or something. No, but you have to know as a woman not to get into this trap of this false doctrine, that is not from God. That your value is placed on how independent you can be, or how. Just look at Snow White, for example. Look at all about the fuse. Some people just think Snow White is not, maybe is less valuable just because she was rescued by a man. That does not even make sense. And if anything, that actually is detrimental. It actually promotes a lot of rivalry and hate between women that believe that and men. And I don't want to say much, but one of the things that modern feminism has produced is a lot of women who hate men, who are spiteful towards men. A lot of you might know what I'm talking about. Many of you might not know, but there are people, because of this feminist indoctrination, who have gone to devalue male gender. Some of them are even calling for the eradication. I see clips of that online. Females saying we don't need men, or we don't need men, or men are the cause of the problem of the world. So where does all those hatred come? It's because modern feminism puts the male and the female in rivalry. Because okay, if you are taught as a woman that your value is how independent you can be from a man, just like you've seen the Snow White movie. So what does that teaches you? It teaches you that you become obsessed, negatively obsessed and spiteful, towards the male gender, because in a way it feels like they hold the key to your value, that if you don't break free from them, so it causes hate, and we see a lot of hate, but God doesn't want that, because actually God created man and woman. God don't let anybody, if you're a man or a woman, anyone downplay any of the gender for you. God created them, and God made them in his own image. So what does it mean God make them in his own image? It's trying to describe to you the value of the product. Let me give you a very good example. This is a phone, right? this is a phone. So what comes to your mind if I tells you this phone is made of gold? What comes to your mind? Wow, it's valuable, right? What if I tell you this phone is made of diamond? What comes to your mind? Value. So what if I tell you a woman is made in the image, in the likeness of God? That is valuable. That is all we need. God also gave the male and the female gender different ability. This is very important for you to know, because modern feminism and a lot of wrong ideology try to put them in competition with each other. They are not in competition. God gave different abilities, to the male and female that is unique to us. For example, the male are naturally stronger. Don't let people make you feel, if you're a female, feel hateful about that. Another example about the female brings everyone we know into this world. When you look all around you, they say the earth is full of 9 billion, currently 9 billion population. A woman brought each and every one in. And that's the beauty of womanhood. That is one of the distinct feature. And through the strength of a man, most times men fight the war, and all of the times, and it has led to the preservation of the human race. So these distinct ability are not for you to develop a rivalry. Instead, they complement each other.